Daddy eats lots. Daddy eats lots. Daddy eats lots. Munch, munch, munch.
Hello and welcome to Daddy Eats Last, where we discuss the challenges of being a man in modern society and whatever the hell that even means. I'm Kane, and joining me with Ryan, still overseas, I think he might be in Germany at the moment, but here in Australia to chat man stuff is Matty. How you doing, Matt?
Good, mate. Prost to Ryan. Probably enjoying a few beverages over there, I'd imagine.
Getting a sneaky worst.
Yeah, sneaky worst.
Or versed, as they say. How you doing, buddy?
I'm good. I just realised this is episode 40, so congratulations.
Yeah, we've come a long way in a short period of time.
Yeah, we're hitting milestones. Pretty good week this week. We had another pretty busy weekend, so I guess the standard, sport and family things and those kind of things. This afternoon, I don't know what Sammy did, but I was downstairs and Kim come running in with blood everywhere pouring out of his mouth, all over his shirt. So whenever that happens with any of the kids, I always take a quick snap, just so I can send it to some people, and then comforted him. So yeah, it's pretty crazy afternoon. So it was all good though. I think it was just a bit his lip potentially playing outside. So
man, that happens, especially kids. It just they bump everything all the time. There's bruises. I know my little fella ended up having plastic surgery on his lip for just something as innocuous as trying to do his stickers after playgroup. So it's always, just because of where it was, it needed plastic surgery. So go figure. Half our luck. But the most important thing is your little fella's all right, and that the blood is quite overwhelming when it happens, but it was nothing serious.
Yeah, he's got photos this week at daycare as well, so Kim was a bit worried there might be a bit of a shiner or a fat lip on Tuesday, but hopefully nothing nice pack can't fix if that happens.
Sounds like he just bounces back to life.
It's funny though, you try and wrap them in, not too much, but a little bit of cotton wool when they're that age, trying to not let them fall too much, but as soon as you turn their back, they're up to a lot of mischief.
It's always the most innocuous things as well. They could, jump off a little wall and nothing will happen, but they could just be doing something like they've done 100 times before, and just that one time, they just take a wrong step and boom. Yes. I don't think you're a parent if you haven't taken your kid to emergency at some point, though.
That's true. We haven't with Sam, so the other two we have those. So.
Touch that wood, mate.
Yes, I am knocking it. Yep.
So the last couple of weeks we've discussed, I guess, some of people perceive more of the negatives about having a kid, like things that change when you're having a kid and disciplining your child. Another negative would be the amount of time your kid gets sick and bump themselves and requires some kind of medical attention. But this week we're going to focus on some of the great things about having kids, and there are a lot of them. It's probably not so hard to think about, but they're maybe not as immediate as some of the changes and, in inverted commas, bad things about having a kid. There's nothing bad about having kids. They're just observations of things which have changed. But some of the great things about having kids, Matty, do you have any which are bouncing off the top of your head? Because I've got a few things in front of my mind.
Yeah, I discussed this with Kim as well today, this topic, because like you said, Kane, this is a great way to round out our, I guess, dad episodes with Ryan away and not having a kid. But the list is quite long when you think about all the good things. So I'll start off with I don't need an alarm clock anymore. I don't have to set one on my phone unless it's for going to catch an aeroplane. But during the week, without fail, one of the kids will wake me up in time well enough to get ready for work. So it's between 5 and 6 every day, I'm getting a knock on the door or Sammy's screaming out for some attention or a bottle. So yeah, that's the first one I'll go with.
The cracker. It's true though. You don't need an alarm clock anymore. Yeah. So if you are somebody who sleeps in, kids will definitely change that. And getting up early and seeing the morning's the best part of the day.
It is. Like, for instance, this morning, although it was dark, but I was reading a little book with Sam at 5:15 out in the lounge room, and there was a couple of birds on the page, and he then started to crawl over to the front door. So, and because Kim has taken him out a couple of mornings in a row when it's been a bit lighter, just to go and look at the birds. So something as simple as that, teaching Sam that there's things outside the house and what to look for in the sky brings a lot of pleasure to him. And as soon as he saw that on the page, he was itching to get outside. But unfortunately, I said, Sam, look outside, mate. It's still dark.
Pitch black. Well, the birdies would have been getting up soon enough, Sammy. So you try again tomorrow, 15 minutes later, and you'll be there, mate.
That's right.
On that, there's nothing better than making them laugh as well. Like reading books and them doing something which kind of they've started themselves fantastic, but making them laugh, and some of the laughs that you can get out of a baby are just unreal, and it's almost a contagious laugh. Like I've actually found myself laughing at our little fella laughing before. It's just if you can, they're really easy to make laugh as well. Their sense of humor is basically everything's pretty much funny. So, and when they get started, it's like a wheel rolling downhill. They just kind of continue laughing and laughing and laughing, and it's contagious.
I couldn't agree more. It is very contagious, and it's even contagious to people around you. I've noticed if I make Sam or the girls laugh in, say, a shopping centre, and people around you, if you sort of glance left or right, people will be smiling and sometimes even laughing, that hearing the child's laughter. So at the moment, if I've got a bit of a 3-day growth or a 7-day growth, and I rub Sam's hands on the whiskers, that always gets him chuckling, or nestle my whiskers into his neck, that does it as well. So it does make you laugh, and it makes you feel good inside too.
Kids' necks are the best. Like I've been on the train a couple of times, and even when we've been having breakfast at Coles, and we get a toastie and a chino for like $3.50, I'll just tickle him on the neck, and the laughter. And you're right, people look and kind of, you see smiles on people's faces, and people laugh along, and it's just seeing how like a kid laughing can light up other people's days, not just your own. It's really nice.
Especially old people, they love it.
Yeah, I think our little fella can just like smile at a kid an old person at a train station or a bus stop, and that you automatically get a smile back. The other part of that is also the like sort of true unconditional love that you kind of get from a kid. There's no real conditions, especially when they're little. It is unconditional love. They love you regardless of kind of anything. When they're really little, that probably does change when they get a bit older, especially when they hit puberty. But when they're young, it's almost like puppy dog love. Like they're just happy to see you, and when you get home, they'll just run up and give you a hug and stuff like that. Like you don't really get that from anyone else apart from maybe a pet.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, hearing your kids say to you, "I love you," or "You're my best friend," in a real genuine voice is there's nothing better than that, I don't think. Especially when you're laying in bed next to them, sort of giving them a cuddle, and they just come out with it randomly. It's it's really beautiful.
And it's always it's always at sort of random times as well. It's not like it's after a particular thing. It could just be, we get it sometimes in the morning, sometimes at night. Every now and again when he's even just having dinner. Like I picked him up today, and then my partner came over, and he kind of reached his arm out, and he just kind of grabbed her as well and pulled her in, and goes, "You are my family." I was like, "Oh my God, how great's that?"
That's awesome.
Yeah, I was like, almost if I had the ability to cry, I would have teared up. But it's like almost quivering. Like it was that nice of a thing to have just randomly said.
Oh. He almost broke the Tin Man. Fantastic.
I would have rusted up, mate. I would have rusted.
Oh. I think another good thing of being a dad or even a parent is showing your kids the world and seeing them enjoy it through their own eyes, like I guess new experiences. So an example of that may be taking them to the football for the first time, maybe the MCG or something like that, or maybe on a roller coaster, and it could be anything that you've experienced yourself, and how much fun it is and how enjoyable it is, and getting them to experience for the first time is a real privilege, I think.
Yeah, no. Last weekend I took our little fella to the car wash for the first time on your prompting. That it's like an amusement park.
Amusement park.
I just shared that with him, and at the time he was like, "Oh, this is really good. Like it's a robot is washing the car." And then afterwards I said, "Oh, did you enjoy the car wash?" He goes, "It was good, but a little bit boring." So yeah, I'm mucking around a little bit, but you're 100% right. Having them experience things you've experienced before, it's almost like reliving your childhood a little bit as well.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Especially with, like I said, going to like a football game or something like that. You only get to do those things once. But by having kids and doing it with them, you do get to experience it again, which is great.
Yeah, even as something as simple as the kids kind of picking up things you used to like when you were a kid. Like our little fella's just got into Lego, and I used to love Lego when I was a kid. It was the way my parents used to bribe me to behave myself, I guess. But like he's just got into Lego recently. I'm like, oh wow, it takes me back to, I remember being a kid and playing with Lego, and like I will sit down and play Lego with him for basically as long as he wants. So it recaptures a little bit of your own childhood, and a bit of nostalgia looking back at what you did when you were a kid. Well, as far back as you can remember anyway.
And do you still have your old Lego sets? Like, or does your mum have them potentially at her house, or are they
Yeah.
around somewhere?
Yeah, no. My mum had kept them, and then he got, for his 3-year-old birthday, he got a little, like what he calls little Lego, which is like the traditional Lego. And we're like,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
a bit young, he's going to put it in his mouth. But we thought, oh, yeah, he was really keen to play with it, so he got it out. He didn't do anything silly with it. He just sat there and made this Lego. And then I said, well, okay, you've taken the gateway drug now. Let's get into the wild world of Lego. So I said to Mum, I knew she still had it. I said, next time you come over, can you please bring over my tackle box of Lego? Like, it's like a fishing tackle box. And we literally pour that out onto a rug. And then after a couple of days of being out, he'll go, I want to get something else out. And we'll go, okay, we'll sit down and we'll both put Lego away, and then he'll get something else out. So luckily enough, my mum did hang on to that. There's a lot of things which through moving and things like that haven't been held on to, but the Lego was a big one.
Yeah, same here. We've got some, a few boxes up here, but it's nowhere near the quality it was. I was going to say it's nowhere near as good as these days as it was back then.
No, there's all sorts.
Legos faded.
Yeah, and there's all sorts of different Legos now. You get Batman Lego and Spider-Man Lego, and back then it was just literally Lego Man. You might be lucky if you got a space Lego Man, but yeah, now there's all the Legos of the rainbow.
Another one, having kids wrestling with them, or rough playing. Being gentle, of course, but laying a few little people's elbows into their bellies to make them laugh, and a few body slams here and there, and especially on a big bed like your bed. With them, they're so tiny, the bed's so big, they just love it.
Yeah. No, I'm glad you brought this up, because a lot of people, and I think especially mums, might get the wrong idea about wrestling as well. There's a lot of benefits to wrestling psychologically.
Oh yeah, do tell.
Yeah. Well, I was reading a couple of websites today around this, because it is one of my favourite things to do, and something I was doing with the little fella before bed tonight, where we were wrestling, and I was tickling him and wrestling him at the same time, and he'd kind of jump on me, and then I'd kind of pull him off and put him down and give him a tickle and stuff. Something we do fairly frequently, and sometimes he gets a little bit overwrought, and that's when my partner will be like, "Oh, I'm not sure about that." So I was reading up a couple of things, and saying roughhousing, which is, I guess, the American terminology for this sort of stuff, is a fun and safe place to teach your kids that failure is often just a temporary state, and that victory goes to the person who's resilient. So if you kid sticks to it, then eventually you'll kind of roll over and let them beat you and stuff like that. But the other part was, physical games require give and take and negotiating to establish rules. So everyone needs to play by those rules when you're wrestling, otherwise someone will get hurt. So you got to play by rules to have fun and not hurt someone. So it's kind of an excellent preparation for later in life, like relationships and professional success, like negotiating the rules, negotiating with somebody else that this is how we're going to play, and if it doesn't go well, we're going to stop.
Wow, I'd never even contemplated any of that, to be honest.
Seriously, I'll send you the article, and I'll maybe post the article in our podcast, because it is a significantly long article written by a mother who's taken on board different things psychologists have said around this topic. But there's a lot of benefits, and the main one I always thought was tonight when the little fella kind of stepped on me accidentally and it kind of hurt. I was like, "Oh, that hurt, buddy." He goes, "Are you okay?" I said, "Yeah, but we have to have a break now." And we both just got up and stopped. So he knew that at that point, like, the game's over, because we've maybe gone over. It's not broken a rule, but something accidental's happened and someone's got hurt. So it's even that negotiation part, I think, is really cool.
Yeah. So to all those dads out there who wrestle with their kids, the benefits you're giving now, are fantastic, are huge.
Yeah, we're not saying do a power slam or,
No.
put them in the walls of Jericho or something. But a little wrestle is actually really good for children.
Yeah, awesome.
I'm really glad you brought that up, and because I always think it's you don't see other people wrestle with their kids, because it happens in at home. It's not you just go out and just wrestle around on the main street of town.
In the middle of the shopping centre, yeah.
Yeah, well, sometimes they just wrestle a bear or try to wrestle a lolly off the shelf, but it's not something which is discussed. I'm really glad you brought that up.
Yeah. That's good. Yeah, obviously they learn enough's enough as well sometimes. Know when to stop, I guess, too.
Yeah, exactly. And it's that negotiation point of, okay, we can continue, but you have to do X, we have to do Y. So there's a lot of benefits. I'll certainly post that as part of what we write up with the podcast. Another
Okay.
one I kind of came up with is the appreciation for small things in life. I mean, like when you have a kid, you really appreciate the small things in life. Like if you have a couple of hours where you might not have to look after the kid entirely. Like today, we got a bit of a chop out for a couple of hours. I'm just happy just to read a book or sit and read the paper or just have a coffee or a tea in the sun and not worry or think about stuff where back before kids, you go a couple of hours, let's do something elaborate or go out for an elaborate lunch or something like that. Now it's just time is the important thing now.
Yeah, those coffee moments are golden. We had a cop out today as well. We got the kid or the two girls minded by Kim's mum, so Kim and I could go up to IKEA for a bit of a browse around there to get some ideas for this renovation. We had Sam with us, but he slept the whole way, so we had a good 40 minutes of silence in the car, which we could just chew each other's ear off because we don't really get that a lot.
No,
So even conversations with your better half are a little thing that you sort of take for granted.
yeah, well, you used to take for granted for sure, and now like once you have a kid, those conversations are kind of few and far between. How on earth did you get out of IKEA in 2 hours? That thing's a vortex. I can never even find my way out of there unless I leave breadcrumbs.
We've been there a few times. We know the shortcut through the store, and yeah, only having Sam was nice and easy just to plow through. We had a plan of attack to get going there. So
now, what are the tips to get out of there quickly then? Just as an aside, because I've been caught in IKEA a couple of times and try to go against the flow of traffic and the arrows on the floor, and that's obviously not the way to go about it. But are there any?
No, there's your first mistake. Yeah, you have to follow the arrows. And then find the shortcuts. They're everywhere. They're not really, well labeled, but you can, scoot from bedding and mattressing at the start and bypass a whole heap of stuff and come out close to the market hall at the end. So look for the shortcuts to get through quickly, and maybe bypass the mess or the canteen hall as well. Don't get stuck in there for the Swedish meatballs.
Yeah, I was going to say the horse meat meatballs if you're in the French version of IKEA. I always thought those the arrows on the floor might have been like the film Labyrinth, where a little creature will come and sort of turn it the wrong way, so you actually end up going back into IKEA. But yeah, they're clearly not.
Some sort of conspiracy to make you go round and round.
Absolutely. I didn't realise I didn't get that flat pack furniture I needed. I'll just have to go around again.
Oh. I guess kids as well, they make you not to take life too seriously when kids come along. So they always can make you realise that, hey, it's a weekend. Let's have a bit of fun. Let's not get too bogged down in the chores, I should say. Our middle one, actually, Eloise today, who's just turned 4. I was somewhere in the house, and she comes in with a backpack on and said, "I'm leaving this family." I said, what are you talking about? She goes, "Yeah, I'm going somewhere else." So I played along. You said, "Okay, all right, well, it's been fantastic. Good luck with everything." She goes, "Yep." I said, "I hope you find a nice family." She goes, "Yeah, that'll be nice." And obviously she's walking around the house with a backpack, and then she said, "Oh, I'm back." And that sort of brought a smile to my face, and I forgot what I was doing for a while and thought, "Oh, this is fantastic."
That's golden. She's a bit early for that. I probably pulled that stuff when I was 8 or 9, not when I was 4.
No, neither did I. 4 years old. I don't know where she was coming up with that. So unless she heard me threaten to leave or something, I don't know. But it was pretty funny.
Oh dear! So she just literally walked around the house for a while and then just declared herself back as part of the family.
And she was filling her backpack up with the most I saw her filling it up earlier before she came and told me what she was doing, and she was just hoeing into one of the miscellaneous boxes we've got that we need to go through. So it's just paper clips and just messy drawer rubbish she was loading up her backpack with. And I said, "What are you doing that for?" She goes, "Oh, I can't tell you." And then she came on afterwards with a full backpack. With the stories.
Oh, you're not going to get far with paper clips, kid. We live in a paperless society these days, pretty much.
She's trying to pick some padlocks or something.
Although, no, she's a genius. I do recall a book or at least a video online or somebody who had swapped things, starting with a paperclip, swapped things all the way up to buying a house. So maybe she's a lot cleverer than we give her credit for.
Yeah. Actually, kids are very clever. Now, I've been educated by my 7-year-old the other day. Like, I have the app WhatsApp on my phone, and it's also a messenger as well. I never realized, and I'm sure everybody else out there has, but you can, when you reply to a message, there's a little microphone button down the bottom which you can press, and you can voice your reply, and it'll converted to text for you.
Oh,
Did you know about this?
I did not know. I've got my
Oh,
WhatsApp up now. I don't do a lot of WhatsApping, but I can see the thing.
it's even in the messenger, so you can go to the messenger and look there as well. But it's blown my mind.
Wow. And the voice recognition is quite good.
Spacebar. Yeah, it is. Yeah, as long as there's no background, radio or music in the background, it'll convert it really well.
Wow. They look at
So,
things
yeah,
with fresh eyes, kids, don't they?
They do. They do indeed.
That is the other part. Like looking at everything's with fresh eyes. Like there's no sort of preconceptions or preconceived ideas about what something will do or what can be done with it. Like they just come in with fresh eyes, which is a really good thing. And another part of that is just relearning how to use your imagination as an adult by watching how kids use their imagination. Like little fella making a couple of houses today out of Duplo or whatever it was, wooden blocks I think it was, and just watching how he pieced it together. Like I'm making this house here, and over here's this part, and you just think I can't imagine ever doing that, but I must have. And then you go sit down and go, okay, I'll help you build your next one, mate. So just relearning how to use your imagination's been nice.
That's a really good one. And especially when it comes to Lego, when they start building something, you look at it and go, oh, I wouldn't do it like that. But you've got to stop in your tracks and just go along with the flow. And, if they want to have a fairy garden on the top of their rooftop hotel or whatever they're building, you just got to go with it. But it is your imagination, yeah. And that's a real treat because not a lot of, I guess, people who don't have kids don't get to, be kids again, I guess. Whether it's playing dress ups or, playing Lego with your little guy or, help them colouring in or just, laying down and looking at the clouds. You might have done that when you were a kid, but, unless you maybe have kids, you probably aren't going to do that again.
Yeah, my little fellow, when we go out the back still, and there's plenty of clouds in the moment in Melbourne, given it's winter, but he goes, oh, let's go look at cloud bears, like, because we've always referred to clouds as cloud bears. So he'll lay down and go, I look at the cloud bears. You look too, Daddy. He'll make me lay down with him and just look up at clouds for probably about 30 seconds before he wants to do something else. But it's just nice when he does it. How
good is that? And I haven't done it recently, but any time I lay down and look at the clouds, it just really clears your mind.
It does. It's not something you can really say that much about kids that they help clear your mind, but some instances they do.
Another one, I guess, being a dad to a newbie at the moment is feeding them. So, I guess with the first two kids, I was looking at it as a bit of a chore or a bit of a pain in the ass isn't too much of a stretch, but especially waking up at the crack of dawn or crazy hours. But I've sort of come to appreciate that you'll only get to do this for a short amount of time. And I look back now on Mia and Eloise and think I should have approached it better and, realized that this doesn't happen forever, and enjoyed the cuddles all the time. And they're just sort of laying in your arms while they're sucking down a bottle. So at the moment with Sam, I often put my hand up to put him to bed a lot these days, and even try and get up and do the feeds as well. So, Kim and I do have a bit of a roster where we share them, but just to stay sane. It's one of those things that comes and goes pretty quickly.
Yeah, because eventually they'll be feeding themselves, and then when they turn 4, they'll be leaving home with a backpack full of paper clips.
Yeah, and when they turn 7, they'll be hating you.
Exactly right. Kids are great as well because you have kids and you see people with kids and you're out and you see people struggling with kids, especially where one parent might have 2 or 3 kids and they're kind of trying to walk them down the street. I actually become more aware of actually asking others if they need help as well. We might see somebody with 2 or 3 kids or trying to get on a train and trying to get a pram on there. You just become more aware of things around you and people who may need help as well, because you've inevitably, when you've been in a similar situation with your kid, have needed a little bit of a hand as well. So they certainly improve the way you relate to other people as well.
Yeah, you're more aware of parents and kids around you. Especially that pram one's a good one, because quite often when you need to go down a set of stairs with a pram, there's always a dad or someone who has kids. They're the first ones to come and grab the front wheel and help you down the stairs. So yeah, you're right there.
Yeah, there was a lady at Flinders Street a couple of weeks ago down in Melbourne, and I was literally on the way to my train, and she was down the bottom of these steep stairs. It was almost peak hour, and people just walking past her. I was like, "Do you need a hand getting up the stairs?" 'Cause she had no idea where she's from. The country, she said after I'd had a quick chat to her, and she goes, "Oh, I don't. Can you?" And I said, "Yeah, I'll give you a hand, easy. I just help carry up the pram, dodging just people just flying by." Got up the top, and she's really thankful. She goes, "Oh, how do I get in so I don't have to worry about stairs on the way back?" I was like, "Oh, just if you walk up half a block or a block." But it took like half a minute out of my day, maybe a minute, but it just made all the difference to her.
Yeah, that would really made her day. Good on you.
Because we've all
Good
but we've all
Samaritan.
been in that spot though. Because I've been at the bottom of the stairs and just having it basically when no one helps, you literally just pick up the entire pram with it like a kid in it and like carry it across your arms upstairs because people don't help.
Yeah. Some people are just oblivious, aren't
Some people are jerks, Matthew.
they? I guess also being a dad can be, as awesome as it is, it can be a little bit bittersweet as well. So I guess when kids start school, there's a bittersweet moment as well. And I'm going through a bit of a phase at the moment. Our 7-year-old who sometimes comes home from school, she might have had a bad day. Friends are sort of finding their place at the moment in her age group. So one day friends will be hating each other, the next day they'll be loving each other. But hearing, I've had a bad day, or someone doesn't like me, is a real bittersweet moment for me. You try and give as much advice as you can, and you do feel for them because it's never nice to have to go through that kind of stuff, and especially when it's your own kid.
Yeah, I guess 100%. I'm not at that point yet, and it's inevitably going to happen at some point. I guess it's just those moments where you're just trying to guide them through life as well. Like that's the parenting stuff, which is really important in what we do. And if you can't really solve the problem for the kid, but you can give the kid the tools to hopefully solve their problem or cope with the problem. But it would suck when it happens.
And I guess because kids think that you know everything, don't they? Really, they as your parent, you're their teacher. You're also their their shoulder to cry on and their motivator. So they come to you for everything, and sometimes you just don't have the answers. But you've either got to wing it, I guess, or just try and do the best you can.
That's all we can do. Kids think you're the strongest, smartest person in the world, even though, well, I'm certainly not, and I don't think anyone really is. But kids think that, and it's nice that they think that their parents are invincible, and that's a nice feeling. But when you don't have the answers for them, because you can't have the answers for them, it would be very difficult. That does wrap it up for this week for Daddy Eats Last. Do subscribe to Daddy Eats Last on iTunes, and while you're there, please leave a review. Tell your mates about the podcast, especially if they're guys. But most of all, thanks for listening, and we'll be back next week for another episode, or should I say serving, of Daddy Eats Last. How's that for a dad joke? Catch you next week when I'll be 40.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.